Hello guys, this is Harshvardhan. Welcome back to my channel Harsha CBS. Guys, now we are going to discuss a special purpose oscilloscope called dual beam oscilloscope. Before entering the concept of a dual beam oscilloscope, why we need to study the dual beam oscilloscope? As there is a general purpose oscilloscope, why we need to focus on this special purpose oscilloscope called dual beam oscilloscope? Because our special purpose oscilloscopes are unable to give two input signals on a screen at a time, but the special purpose oscilloscopes called a dual beam oscilloscope and dual trace oscilloscopes will produce the two input signals on a screen at a time. For the purpose of a comparison, we are using the dual beam oscilloscope. Okay, it is the reason why we need to study the dual beam oscilloscope. Now we will study in detail. Okay. Now, as we have discussed it is a special purpose oscilloscope. Now, what are the features of this dual beam oscilloscope? The features are there. The first point is the name of the oscilloscope is indicating it is having two completely separate electron beams. But for general purpose oscilloscope, we are having only single electron beam. We have already seen in the concept of CRO. Now, two sets of vertical deflection plates and a single set of horizontal deflection plate. The second point, two sets of vertical deflection plate is an advantageous point to the dual beam oscilloscope, but the third point, which is only a single set of horizontal deflection plate, is a main disadvantage to dual beam oscilloscope. Okay, these 3 points are essential points for the dual beam oscilloscope. And we know that these dual beam oscilloscopes are generally used in the application of a comparison of two signals. Okay, now it allows to compare the two signals. Two input signals pass through two identical vertical channels, and each channel has its own attenuation. These 2 points will get clarified by seeing the block diagram. Okay, now we will see the block diagram. See, by the block diagram we can see that at this point we are giving a signal A and at this point we are giving a signal B. Both signals are given to the preamplifier and attenuator. From this we can clearly see signal B has its own attenuation and signal A has its own attenuation. It is the point discussed in the last. Okay, now, and it is having a separate delay line and separate vertical amplifier, and signal B also having separate delay line and separate vertical amplifier. From the diagram we can clearly see that it is a signal A horizontal deflection plate and it is a signal B horizontal deflection plate. But we are having only one horizontal deflection plate here. From this we can clearly see that it is the vertical deflection plates of the signal A and it is the vertical deflection plates of the signal B, and we are having only one horizontal deflection plate which is from the bottom circuit. Okay, now from this we can clearly see for the two signals we are having the two different type of the vertical amplifiers and two different vertical deflection plates. But we are having only one horizontal line and only one horizontal deflection plate. It is the main drawback. So what we need to do? So we need to introduce a switch here such that the switch will oscillate between the channel A and channel B. So suppose assume that my speed of switch is 5 microseconds. Mean my switch is working at very fast rate. Assume, suppose at a time t equal to 0, my switch is connected to position A. But at time t equal to 5 microseconds, my switch is connected to position B. At time t equal to 10 milliseconds, again my switch is connected to position A. In this manner, my switch will rotate or connects alternatively between AB like that, my switch will connect. Then you may have a doubt while the connection until 5 seconds there will be no connection to signal B, such that the signal B will not be displayed on screen. No, it will display, because from the concept of a persistence which I have said in the features of a CRT, we can clearly observe that due to persistence signal will stay for a longer time. So 5 microseconds is not a big matter for the signal persistence. So we can observe two signals continuously without any fluctuations. Okay, it is the reason why we will observe two signals continuously. But in order to observe the two signals at a time on the screen, there will be some condition. What is the condition? In order to appear two signals at a time on the screen, the both signals must have the same frequency, or harmonics are the frequency. It's a harmonics of frequency. What are the harmonics? Suppose if my signal A has a 2 kHz frequency, then my signal B can have a 2 kHz, or can have a 4 kHz, or can have a 6 kHz. These are the harmonics of the 2 kHz frequency. If my signal B do not have any of these harmonics or the original frequency of FA, then both signals are not displayed at a time on the screen. Okay, it is the must and should condition that signal A and signal B are harmonically related to each other. Now, the only main disadvantage is it is having only one horizontal amplifier. Since sweep is same for both signals, it is means it is having only one sweep generator. Okay, since the sweep is only same for the both signals, we are having a common time base used for both beams. Only one beam is synchronized at a time. Due to this condition, we must have the two signals of same frequency. Okay, this is the concept of the dual beam oscilloscope, guys. If you like my video, please share, please like, share, and if you are watching my channel for the first time, please subscribe. Okay, thank you guys.